we have a lot of huge problems. We have the nuclear problem in Korea. We have the nuclear problem in Iran. We have, of course, the whole array of problems, each of which, Afghanistan, and so forth. But then we have the financial issues. But they really are issues of the construction of a new world order. That's what this is about.
What is our common bond truly? Freedom!
Anyone who has not been living under a rock for the last 10 years knows that when President Bush signed the Patriot Act, there was a clamor against how it was going to affect the civil liberties of Americans, our basic rights protected by the Constitution. They were called conspiracy theorists. We have to keep like Wilson's mantra, we have to keep the world safe for democracy. We have to keep the American people safe from the terrorists, the dreaded terrorists. And little by little over the last 10 years, our liberties have been chipped away like the carvings of Mount Rushmore, chipping away at the liberty of our nation and our freedoms. Anybody can notice this unless, of course, they were living under a rock. Long before 9/11, the seeds of the Patriot Act were sown. Joe Biden drafted the core of the Patriot Act in 1995. Months before the Oklahoma City bombings took place, Biden introduced the bill called the Omnibus Counterterrorism Act of 1995. It previewed the 2001 Patriot Act by allowing secret evidence to be used in prosecutions, expanding the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act and wiretap laws, creating a new federal crime of terrorism that could be invoked based upon political beliefs, permitting the U.S. military to be used in civilian law enforcement, and allowing permanent detention of non-U.S. citizens without judicial review. Now, this is a fascist, dictatorial overthrow of the freedoms and liberties of we the people. The Center for National Security Studies said the bill would erode constitutional and statutory due process protections and would authorize the Justice Department to pick and choose crimes to investigate and prosecute based on political beliefs and associations. That was reported by CNET in 2008. How true it is. So in the almost 20 years since the Oklahoma City bombing, what has changed in America? Our rights have been slowly chipped away under the pretense of keeping us safe. And now, in 2013, a dozen years since 9/11, we're under the thumb of a surveillance society. Cameras in all major cities looking for terrorists, face recognition technology looking for terrorists, checking your emails and your phone calls, looking for terrorists to keep you safe. National security. Isn't it funny how any time that our government is caught doing something evil or corrupt, they claim national security to keep their crimes hidden? We the people have become the target of our government. It's undeniable. Just wake up. This is the truth. I know you don't want to believe it. I know you want to go on watching your favorite TV shows and your best sports teams and go about your business and, do as much as you can for your family. I know. You want to be a good American. You don't want to make waves. You just want to comply. Comply your way into slavery.
To change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in four basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The result you can see.
As things continue to deteriorate, I'm sure you will all come to see the truth. The question is, what will you do about it?
The psychological shock when they will see in future what the beautiful society of equality and social justice means in practice, obviously they will revolt. They will be very unhappy, frustrated people, and the Marxist-Leninist regime does not tolerate these people. They will join the links of dissenters, dissidents. Unlike in present United States, there will be no place for dissent in future Marxist-Leninist America. This they don't understand, and it will be greatest shock for them, of course. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. For the last 25 years. Actually, it's overfulfilled, because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization.
Colonel North, in your work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster?
Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir.
I was particularly concerned, Mr. Chairman, because I read in Miami papers and several others that there had been a plan developed by that same agency, a contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution. And I was deeply concerned about it and wondered if that was the area in which he had worked. I believe that it was, but I wanted to get his confirmation.
I most respectfully request that that matter not be touched upon at this stage.
Congress shall now vote for approval of H.R. 8791, the Homeland Terrorism Preparedness Bill. Said bill requests emergency response funding up to and including, I'm sorry, this section is classified, dollars to prepare for a national level terrorist attack and or attack from classified. Funding for first responder personnel and vehicles would be doubled if said attack leads to more than 80% of national population being affected by classified. Civilian and military units shall be trained in containment and combat of classified, including irradiated classified, with possibility of classified airborne, classified flesh-eating, classified, and or all of the above in such event as classified spewing, classified escape, are released or otherwise become uncontrollable. Air Force units may also be directed to combat said classified due to their enormous size and otherworldly strengths. Should event occur in urban areas, that's classified, far surpassing our darkest nightmares. Should casualties exceed classified, body disposal actions shall be halted and associated resources shall be reallocated to classified underground classified protected birthing centers. A new Bill of Rights shall be drafted and approved by classified.
Why is it that we must give up our rights to keep us safe? Why is it that those that do not have must be given from those that have? Why is it that education is about training for work as opposed to individual upward mobility? Why is it that major corporations are targeting small businesses? Why is it that the small business owner has so many hurdles to jump over before he can even open his doors for business? Why is it that corporate America is getting fat on your ignorance? We are enriching mega corporations instead of supporting the small business owner. Why? Because the mega corporations give us the products, their shit products, for less cost than the small business owner can. That's why. So if the people have money, they're certainly going to consider buying products from a local business, from a smaller business, this mom and pop operation. But if funds are tight, they're going to go to Walmart and Costco and all these other mega stores because they can't afford to help the small business owner. Same thing goes with food. They can't afford to buy the better food, the organic food. So they buy the GMO, Monsanto, food additive, preservative, processed foods. There's a reason for all of this. Of course, the government said, we're not looking at your emails. We are not investigating. We are not doing wireless wiretapping. We are not doing anything. Now, of course, we know that those were lies. Our government is out of control. It's worse than Orwell could have even predicted. We're moving in such a direction where the people are embracing their servitude, embracing the tyranny, because they're so weak and they've been so conditioned to need and have things given to them by the government to protect them, to be their daddies and their mommies. And it's a nanny state. There's no doubt about it. Our government's gone berserk. And the people who are aware and are raising attention about this are called dissenters, radicals, because our government is being taken over and our country is being eaten away from within. That's the truth. Benghazi, Fast and Furious, the NSA scandal, the IRS scandal. How much more is it going to take to wake up the American people? The media lies. The corporations are in bed with the media. The corporations are, mega corporations are in bed with the government. The FDA, the regulators are all in bed with these mega corporations. All of these agencies are designed to deindustrialize America, to collectivize our resources. Wake up. The writing is on the wall. You just have to open your eyes and see it.